Most people know about the Holocaust. Most people know about Hiroshima, but very few people know about Unit 731, a program so dark, so disturbing, that the United States government helped cover it up for decades. What happened inside those walls was not war. It was something far worse, and the world was never supposed to find out. In 1937, deep in the forests of Manchuria, China, the Imperial Japanese Army quietly constructed a massive complex. It was disguised as a water purification unit. Locals were told it was a lumber mill. In reality, it was the most sophisticated biological warfare research facility ever built, and its task subjects were human beings. The man behind it all was General Shiro Ishii, a brilliant but deeply disturbed army doctor who believed that science had no limits, that human life had no value if it served the advancement of military power. Under his command, Unit 731 would go on to commit atrocities that history has barely begun to reckon with. The victims of Unit 731 were called Maruta, a Japanese word meaning logs. Dehumanized from the moment they arrived, they were mostly Chinese civilians, Korean laborers, Russian prisoners of war, and in some cases, American and British POWs. They were brought to the facility under the pretense of resettlement or prisoner transfer. Many had no idea where they were going. Once inside, they would never leave. Prisoners were kept in cells barely large enough to stand in. They were given just enough food to keep them alive, because a dead test subject was a useless one. They were assigned numbers, not names, and they waited for whatever came next. What happened inside Unit 731 defies description. But the world needs to know. Prisoners were infected with plague, cholera, typhoid, and anthrax, deliberately, to study how the diseases progressed in a live human body. They were not given treatment, they were observed until they died. Others were subjected to vivisection, surgery performed on fully conscious, living patients without anesthesia. Organs were removed while the person was still alive, simply to study them in their natural state. Researchers believed that anesthesia would contaminate the results. Some prisoners were placed in pressure chambers to see how much pressure the human body could withstand before it exploded. Others were subjected to extreme cold, their limbs repeatedly frozen and thawed until the flesh rotted from the bone, to study frostbite for military purposes. Prisoners were spun in centrifuges at high speed until they lost consciousness or died. They were exposed to lethal doses of X-ray radiation. They were hung upside down for days to study how long it took for a human being to suffocate from their own body weight. Women, including pregnant women, were not spared. Children were not spared. The only criteria was that the subject was alive when the experiment began. Conservative estimates suggest that at least 30 people died directly inside Unit 731. Some historians believe the number could be as high as 250 when including the field experiments conducted across China. In August 1945, as the Soviet Union declared war on Japan and began advancing toward Manchuria, General Ishii received orders to destroy all evidence of Unit 731. The facility was demolished, documents were burned, the remaining prisoners, the witnesses, were executed, their bodies were incinerated. General Ishii told his men, "Take your secrets to the grave." But here is where the story becomes even darker. After Japan's surrender, American intelligence officials discovered what had happened at Unit 731. They had a choice: prosecute Ishii and his scientists as war criminals, as they had done with the Nazis at Nuremberg, or make a deal. They made a deal in exchange for all of the biological warfare research data, the results of those thousands of experiments. The United States granted full immunity to General Ishii and every scientist who worked at Unit 731. None of them were ever prosecuted. Many went on to have distinguished careers in medicine and government. The data was classified. The cover-up was complete. While Nazi doctors were hanged at Nuremberg for conducting human experiments, the scientists of Unit 731 walked free, because their data was considered too valuable to waste on justice. For decades, Japan's government refused to acknowledge that Unit 731 existed. The site in Manchuria was abandoned and forgotten. Survivors who tried to speak out were silenced. It was not until the 1980s, nearly 40 years after the war, that Japanese historians began uncovering the truth. Slowly, painfully, the story began to emerge. In 1997, a Japanese court acknowledged for the first time that Unit 731 had conducted biological warfare experiments. But no official government apology has ever been issued. No reparations have ever been paid. The victims, those thousands of men, women, and children who were reduced to numbers and subjected to unimaginable suffering, have never received justice. Their names were never recorded. Their families were never told what happened to them. They were erased from history, deliberately, systematically, completely. Except that history has a way of refusing to stay buried. Unit 731 is not a conspiracy theory. It is documented history. It happened, and the fact that most people have never heard of it is itself part of the story. Some secrets are kept not because they are too unbelievable, but because they are too uncomfortable, too inconvenient, too damaging to the powerful. Now you know, and knowing is the first step to making sure something like this can never happen again. If this video opened your eyes, share it, subscribe, because history as darkest chapters deserve to be remembered, not forgotten.